Hello and welcome to Cities in Review. This video will be about 20 minutes that reviews the city Cape Harmony that was built on the Mountain Taper map from Map Pack number 1. First, I'll step through the city in the order it was built, which matches the order of the Let's Play episodes in the Cape Harmony playlist. I'll spend a few minutes showcasing each area and pointing out some of the highlights of that area. I'll wrap it all up by running through some of the stats of the city. If you want to see a specific area in more detail, you can go to the Cape Harmony Let's Play playlist. You're probably scratching your head right about now thinking, hey NBC, this city doesn't look finished. And you're right. Cape Harmony began around the second week of January 2023. At this point, 5 or so weeks later, at about 50,000 citizens and halfway through, Skylines remastered for PS5 was announced and should be released anytime now. And honestly, there's just no way in heck I'm going to spend another 5 to 6 weeks working on a 9-tile city when I have 25 tiles waiting for me with a bunch of other great updates from the remastered game. That being said, we did some great things in this city, and it would be a great disservice to this city if we didn't send it home properly. Let's get started by going over the grand vision I had for Cape Harmony. At the beginning, I wrote some basic ideas at the top of the map. Almost no industry and commercial. So far, zero industry since we never got around to building the fishing industry. And the little commercial we do have is a few spots from the Edison Hypercharger to make parking lots. This city is basically zoned residential and office, and that's it. Leisure and unique buildings served as our commercial, giving people things to do. A good portion of the highway was converted to 4-lane road. I embraced transit-oriented development, which is a fancy way of saying upzoning with mixed-use zoning around major transit stations and routes. The goal was about 100k citizens, and we built half of the city, and we're at 49,000, so we were on target to meet that goal. Cape Harmony ended up with 3 BRT lines, 1 metro line, ferry, the airport, and a bunch of tram. We never built the harbor, and there are several dedicated walking and biking areas. And finally, we have 2 parking rides, one being a BRT line, the other a metro train hub. The first thing we did was some major terraforming to make this back bay. The city was modeled after an East Coast US city shore town, like maybe Atlantic City, New Jersey, Ocean City, Maryland, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. During one of the first streams, I built this power plant, left room for future expansion. We have the trade school media lab serving as the main building and fountain because I didn't have a ton of room on the island, so I wanted to keep the main campus relatively small, so I used some of the campus DLC buildings in other areas like this as part of the builds to hit the numbers for attractiveness and number of students to get to the prestigious level 5. I mentioned earlier the park and ride with intercity bus, metro train hub, tram, ferry, all in here. I did my best to discourage highway use and promote other means by adding 2, 3, and 4-lane one-way residential roads to slow it down some. I even used some toll booths set to max. A simple trumpet onto the boulevard using American 4-lane road. Here we are along the 4-lane highway through the wetlands. Another trumpet interchange, and the other parking ride that I didn't finish adding the parking lots to. Frankly, I just forgot about it. Let's ride the BRT line into the city. The idea here was to use the pedestrian street with bus lane, plazas, and promenades to block regular traffic, and use the 2-lane two-way highway road as the express part. This means it's the fastest route into town, which increases the ridership. The design allows services, minus trash, to use the express lane. We come to this nice little transfer area that I didn't get to finish either. And unfortunately, there's going to be a few spots like that. Let's work our way to the first area we started, West Harmony. A nice tram line down Harmony Heights Boulevard with these nice tall pine trees rolling up into a little pedestrianized civic center with City Hall, so financial zoning, unique buildings, and Central Plaza. I really like this narrow block with these cottonwoods. A few apartment complexes and apartment buildings with these 3x3 level 2 buildings. Nice high school. Lots of connectivity with the paths across the water. Nice quays along the side with lighting in the water so it glows at night. You can see some of that lighting at night, maybe episode 2 or 3 of the Let's Play. A couple more apartment complexes up here, like these nice blue ones. A lot of detail here that I'm kind of whizzing by, like these paths behind the houses. West Harmony connects to Harmony Point through these pedestrian bridges. I was planning for a visitor center on this small island on the left, but didn't get to it. The next area that was worked on is across the water. Here, Harmony Heights. Harmony Heights is basically between the dedicated biking on the right and dedicated biking on the left. So basically this area here. We use transit-oriented development here with a few unique buildings right next to the metro station because of the noise. Then some office to block the noise from the high-density residential. That's the next layer. A mix of all kinds of buildings, high-density European, self-sufficient, some nice North American colorful buildings along the BRT line. Some compact light-density zoning, then some larger lots along the waterway. The IT buildings look awesome at night with a nice blue color. Some Art Deco and some mid-density look with the heart of Korea. A really beautiful walking and biking area. Let's jump down and take a quick walk. I just love doing this kind of work. And there is a video or two on the shorts playlist that shows some of this off at night. The next area is Harmony Point, which is this area here. Once again, use transit-oriented development with some unique buildings as commercial, office, and high density around that. Some interesting things about this area is the tram line runs pretty straight, whereas the boulevard is nice and windy, because I wanted to make the tram line the shorter route to maybe increase ridership. Some nice office and high-density residential blocks in here. I really love this high-density European along the BRT line with some nice European suburbia in the front. While working on this area, I discovered you can put pads underneath the decorative tiles, which looks awesome. Let's dive down into the next walking and biking area. Some park life assets, lots of people moving around. I mean, this looks great. We have a path here connecting Harmony West to Harmony Point. Some nice apartment complexes in here on pedestrian paths. Here in this 2x2 level 3 complex, I mixed up some park life and plazas and promenades. Don't forget the individual episodes are in the playlist that you can check out to get more detail of these areas. Another nice apartment complex. A nice community center with some unique buildings, plaza and financial style offices. These buildings are from the Seaside Resort CCP and come in various shades of color, so I placed them, blew them up until I got them to be this red-brown color so they all match. Some cool biking along the water. a bunch of light density residential, this pedestrian bridge again that allows people and services to move between the two areas. It would have also led to the visitor center I mentioned earlier. The next area is Harmony Shores. Basically bordered by the boulevards and water. A lot of cool beach themes in here. 2 residential areas that are zoned with 1x1, 1x2, 2x2, and 3x2 zoning on dirt roads to give it that compact feel. The BRT East line runs down to this ferry stop. Nice brick apartment complex along that BRT line. Some larger homes along the water. The tram comes down from Harmony Point into this self-sufficient 2x2 area. Let's check out some of the beach scenes. I just love the sand dunes with fencing, dirt path. A nice beach spot here. And another one here. Cool jetty at the inlet. The plan was to put another one on the other side, and then a golf course in the back. Unfortunately, never materialized. A few more jetties to prevent erosion, and a couple more beach scenes next to the pavilion. Some nice Heart of Korea. Another biking and walking area. This is another spot where the pads are underneath the decorative tiles. I think this stuff with the decorative tiles is just awesome. And I'm half tempted to build my whole city with it. The paths connect to those in Harmony Point on the other side of the boulevard. Some cool financial district zoning. Nice boulevard. Great tramway with the palm trees. Some nice Heart of Korea, mid-density stuff, and more walking and biking. The Pyramid of Safety could serve as a new age church for these compact zoned light density residential homes. The pedestrian street with this tram was meant to be a boardwalk that was planned to continue all the way down. And that's Harmony Shores. We were starting to do some work in this area and also work on Harmony Crest, but I learned about the remaster when I was working in this area, so it kind of came to a halt. I was planning for a nice market area in this spot here. Campus area was built as I built the city, and I wanted to do some detailing and mix in some Park Life DLC assets, but just never got to it. Over here is Cape Harmony Airport with a handful of different stands. Like I said a couple times before, you can catch a lot of this in the Cape Harmony playlist. I was planning to put some fishing in here. And over here we have some garbage processing with the waste processing complex and a couple of landfills, and some of the service points for the pedestrian areas. And that concludes the tour part of the review. It's a shame we didn't get to finish the city. What's coming down the pipeline with the remastered edition is even better, so that's cool. Let's run through the transit real quick. About 1,000 bikers in the city and 3,700 riders puts us right around 4,700. We're right at that 10%, which is pretty good. And there's 2,000 tourists. We have a tram line coming down Harmony Crest Boulevard, tram line coming down Harmony Heights Boulevard, and we haven't zoned in a good portion of this area, so I imagine our transit numbers would even be better once we kind of finish filling this area in. The tram line that runs through Harmony Point up to Park and Ride, tram line here on Cape Harmony Boulevard, the metro runs from the airport to the Park and Ride with several stops in between, the West Bus Rapid Transit System running here, and the East one here. Both would have continued into this area here, Harmony Cove and Harmony Landing. A tram line running along the boardwalk that would have also continued out in this area, and we have ferry moving all along the water. Enough power for the finished city. Water, fire, and police look pretty good. Nobody is sick in the city, which is good. And a mix of crematoriums and cemeteries for our death care. Education is roughly 4, 37, 31, and 28%. Just typical with education through citywide. Looks like high schools need some help. Unemployment is 7%, which is good. Target is 5 to 10. Land value is usually in the 50s, but I think all the water is boosting it a bit, so it's in the 60s. So for a city with no commercial industry, we're importing 9 units for the parking lots and exporting 874 from IT cluster and waste processing complex. Traffic is 92%-ish, with most of the hotspots being transit routes, which means our transit is humming along nicely. And finally, about 1,600 tourists. I think that wraps up Cape Harmony. A great city to build. Shame it didn't get finished, but we have some awesome stuff on the horizon, and maybe we'll see Cape Harmony again in the future on 25 Tiles. It was a cool city nonetheless, with no commercial and industry. Although zoning did get a bit stale, since I only zoned office and residential, but cool to know you don't need commercial and industry to have a well-running city. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already, share, and comment on your thoughts about the city. Until next time, happy building.